In this lecture, we're going to talk about the more uncommon forms of punctuation, the ellipsis, brace, and bracket. Now, I don't use braces and brackets at all, but I do use ellipses quite often in my fiction writing. Let's jump into things and see what these punctuation marks are all about. The first is the ellipses, and I want to talk about the way to write this. An ellipsis is a single set of ... Ellipses are multiple occurrences of ... So ellipses is the plural of ellipsis. Now to create an ellipsis, you just type 3 periods. And in Word, they magically become one character, which looks like 3 periods. But they are not 3 periods, they are an ellipsis. Let's look at the use of ellipses. Ellipsis usage. Use ellipses as sentence terminators to denote an intentionally incomplete sentence or that more information is to follow. So what they're really about is they're sentence terminators like periods, exclamation marks, and question marks, but they kind of indicate, hey, there's more to follow, either in the fact that the sentence is incomplete or that there's going to be additional sentences after this one to elaborate. So let's look at an example. Here's an incomplete sentence example. But I don't ellipsis, which is ... and this is in dialogue. So it's quoted. She began to say. So she didn't finish saying this. So you use an ellipsis to indicate that at the end of what she does say. And it's quoted in double quotes because it's dialogue. Let's look at an ellipsis more information example. This report includes lots more information to follow. ... So instead of a period, I end this with an ellipsis to indicate, hey, there's going to be additional sentences and information that are following this sentence. Now let's look at 2 that I don't use. I suppose they're legit. Braces and brackets. Now I'm going to go through this quickly. Let's look at brace usage first. Use braces to form lists, as in the flag has 3 colors. Open brace, red, white, blue, close brace, period. Now this is ugly. I wouldn't even use this in nonfiction writing. It looks weird, so nonfiction's a little weirder looking with parentheses and stuff. I would rewrite the sentence as, the flag has 3 colors, including red, white, and blue. I just make a comma-delimited list. I don't understand the reason for these braces. What you're doing is you're creating a set, and I just don't need to use it. You don't need to use it either. I'd recommend you don't. Let's look at bracket usage. Use brackets to add information or formatting information to quotes, as in, I don't, italicize, approve. And then in square braces or brackets, you put italics added. This is an indication to the reader that the italics were not in the original quote. And notice this is a quote. It's in double quotes. So I am taking a quote, and then I'm adding italics, and I'm putting a little note to the reader that, hey, I added these italics. They weren't in the original quote. Another use of the square bracket is to use SIC in square brackets. It's SIC is an acronym for a Latin phrase, which I don't know, which means, yeah, this is the way it looks. So use SIC or sick in square brackets after a phrase in a quote that is not written correctly. So here we have a quote, opening quote, thank yo. Now that should be you, but it was written as yo in the original text that I'm quoting, and I don't want to change that. So I put SEC or sick in square brackets after it to indicate to the reader, hey, this is a mistake, but it's in the original quote. I didn't do it. The original writer did it. So that's the other use of square brackets. Now this, I think, is a really legitimate use of square brackets. Actually, the previous one I italic. So if I was writing a lot of nonfiction, which I don't, I'd probably use square brackets for these two purposes: to give instructions to the reader about things that I'm doing to text that I'm quoting. And I wouldn't use the braces at all. Don't you create lists that way. Just create comma separated lists. And with that said, we are done with the uncommon punctuation. I like the ellipsis. The other ones, I'm not thrilled by. Next, we're going to look at the additional punctuation section workshop, where I will be writing in Microsoft Word using the punctuation from this and previous sections. I'll see you there.